I'm too old for this, too worn out, tired. I've lived too much life. It is too late in life for this to happen. But when I lost my son, I became born again. I will renew. I will re-energize. I will do something about this because his life mattered. All of our children's life matters. It's important, and we're not supposed to outlive them. I am healing, but I've got something to do. I have to take all of Nate's potential, the things that he could have accomplished in his life, which is tremendous, and have to channel them and funnel them and live the rest of my life allowing him to live his. The males in our family are generally long lived. A lot of us will make it 100 years if we make the right choices. Well, Nate was 22, so he had about 80 years left. This year I will turn 48. And through some of my own choices and, the mistakes that I've made in life, I don't know if I would have made it to 100, especially now. Losing a child will take something out of you, man. Any of us can die at any time. I could go right now. But barring any unforeseen circumstances, if I consider my health, my age, this massive injury I took, losing my son, we could say I've got 20 years, maybe. So if I take Nate's 80 years and my 20 years, that's 100 years. That's 100 years of life that I have to live in the next 20. And I've got big plans for it. I'm just an old Auburn boy. But us Auburn boys are a different breed. There's something about us, something given to us, maybe by God. I've got big plans. So in order to do this 100 years of life in the next 20 years, I can't just wing it. I have to have a solid plan, a foundation. And that plan has been clarified by the Lord up above and by my son at his side. I still live in this realm, in this world, on this planet. I'm still here. So that's where my work is. Because since I am still here, that means I've got more to do. So let's talk about that plan. What does it take to do something here? Well, I can't just be some guy on the internet. While there is some usefulness into posting podcasts like this and social media outreach, that enables us to reach a lot of people, obviously. But to really make an impact, to really make a difference, the whole point is to get off of the internet and get out into reality. So to do that, to accomplish my aim, I have to create an organization, a legitimate thing for people to know, for people to be able to see us and find us and know what we're about and to help us. I've got the strength to lead this. I've got the power to see this through to completion. But that doesn't mean that I don't need help. I need your help, the person watching this. So I have to start an organization. Obviously, as you know, the organization is called Nate's Glow. Why have I called it that? Why have I chosen that? Well, because in many of the conversations that Nate had with me, in his journal writings, in his motivational posters, he made his own motivational posters. He would often talk about envisioning himself enveloped in a golden white light, glowing and radiant for all the world to see. Well, that's why it's called Nate's Glow. So that's the organization. We'll have many campaigns. We'll have our hands in a lot of things, but it's important to lay out a mission statement. So our mission statement is to end bullying, find the lost, and share Nate's message of love, hope, and faith. And it is a big message. I cannot wait to get to that stage. But the first part, ending bullying, is what we're going to focus on first. A lot of people have a lot of ideas on how to end it. But if you really listen to them, their ideas are about how to fight it. Some of the ideas are good. Some of them are not so good. But the problem is there's too damn many ideas. And when there's too much information, it kind of muddles up everything and makes things incomprehensible. And it's creating mud. Too much information creates mud. And then when you try to figure out how to move forward, your wheels spin. You're stuck in that mud. Well, an ancient wise man once said that even the muddiest water clears as it stills. And I find that very profound. In the aftermath of losing your child, there's a calmness, a tranquility. It's a place you find yourself, and you can see very clearly. And I can understand the issue perfectly. You can feel free to doubt that, but if you doubted it, you'd be wrong, because I know how to end bullying. and I know how to make it clear so that people understand it. And it isn't by creating a lot of mud for people to get stuck in. It's not about passing blame, finding fault. It's not about hating the bullies. If you hated the bullies, you never get anywhere. That's what I mean. People don't see. I don't blame them. They just can't see it from my perspective. And for that, I'm thankful. But that doesn't mean I don't want to help them. What you have to realize is that a lot of people scoff or don't believe that this bully war can be ended. They'll even justify it. They'll make excuses to continue it going. There's really only one step. Think about this for a minute. Open your mind for a moment. Open your mind to allow some imagination for a second. Ask yourself a question. If bullying can be ended, let's imagine it can. If it could be ended, how many ways could it be accomplished? Is it one way? Is it 10 ways? 50 ways? A million ways? How many ways? Don't ponder too long, because I already have the answer. I can see it. There's only one way. There's only one way. And not only do I know it and believe in it in my heart of hearts, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it everywhere because my son mattered. And I don't want anybody else to feel that. But you can't give people that answer yet. I have to hold on tight to it. Because if you give them that answer before they are ready to receive it, it'll fall on deaf ears. It'll lose its potency. I guess any headway or advice or information is like that. You can't give somebody something before they're ready to take it. And that's the way this is. So I know the one way to wipe bullying off of this planet permanently. I know it. The answer has been given to me. It's been shown to me. But I have to get you in the receptive mode first. And that is the journey I'm on now. So the first step to get you into the receptive mode is very important. I call it the prerequisite. If you can't meet the criteria for this prerequisite, none of the other stuff is going to sink in. You'll have to revisit it later. You have to do the prerequisite first. This is the big thing. You have to get to a stage inside of yourself where you're able to switch. And that switch exists. But you have to get there so that you can switch and begin to believe that it is possible. That's the prerequisite. You have to begin to believe that it is possible. And you have to open your ears. Don't just mean hear, and more mean listen. But it's even deeper than that. But you have to get to that stage, that prerequisite stage, where instead of denying it, instead of being that person that says, oh, you'll never stop bullying, that's what I'm talking about. Can't go there. I mean, you can. Everybody does it. But to get to what I'm talking about, you have to get past that. You have to believe that it's possible because it is. It is possible. Not only is it possible, it's inevitable. It's coming. I'm bringing it. I'm bringing it. So before anything else can happen, before I can tell you the one way to wipe bullying off of this planet, I have to prepare a path for you to get to the place where you can receive it. And the doorway to that path is that prerequisite. It's a shift in belief. You have to believe that, don't just believe that that's possible, believe that anything is possible. It's a fundamental shift. It's a fundamental difference in the way a person has their relationship with reality. The prerequisite to believe that it is possible. After you open your ears to that, after you accept that in your heart of hearts, then you can begin training yourself to be in the receptive mode rather than the rejective mode. What more is it than that? It's about getting yourself to, instead of being our natural way where we reject, start receiving them, allowing them. Here's the thing. When you entertain the possibility of something becoming real, not only have you opened your heart to that truth becoming true, but by opening yourself, there's no harm. It doesn't hurt. It does not hurt to believe in possibility. You know, the second word of Nate's message, the second word, hope. You gotta have it, man. But you have to take it a step further and use the last word, because hope without faith falls short. It takes both of them together. Faith gives hope its backbone. It gives it its structure. So whatever you hope for, whether it's this, the end of bullying, or whatever else it may be in your life that you're hoping for, hope without faith fall short. You must have faith. And Nate taught me a lot about faith. But I ask you, as we move forward from here, have that hope, to have that faith, to keep your ears on, and to believe that the ending of bullying is possible. Don't reject it. You have to switch. You have to get to where you're no longer rejecting it and you're embracing it. Can you see how powerful that shift would be? Mighty powerful, man. When you shift your internal self into believing that something is possible, that something becomes possible. I do know the way. I do know how to wipe bullying off of this planet, and I'm already doing it. Soon, I will have the great unveiling. I will release the way to the world, but I have some work to do before I can get there. I need to be able to reach people. That's why I have the podcast, the website, the book. That's why I'm pushing all this, because I have to have reach. For me to wipe bullying off of this planet, I have to have reach. So I encourage you to follow my social media, download my podcast, do all that, do the swiping, the liking, the subscribing, the bell, whatever all that stuff is. Personally, I find it pretty annoying when I'm watching a video and the guy's like, hit that bell. I mean, I get it. It's important, but I don't think you have to say it. I think what you have to do is provide quality content. You have to be your authentic self, because people can see that. And if you're faking it, or if you're trying to sell something, people can see it and they don't trust it. Well, I'm not trying to scam, pretend. I would actually be offended if anyone suggested something like that, because I lost Nate, my son. Now the rest of my life, I will live in his honor and spread his glow everywhere I go and accomplish his goals. And not only that, but I've got 2 other living sons, and I give them love every day, and I'm proud of them, and I'm amazed at the men that they have become and that they are still becoming. They're doing a good job, especially with losing their brother, man. What a big blow that is when you first step out into adulthood. And Joseph's only 20. You remember when you were 20, losing his best friend, his brother at that age? Curtis, the oldest, didn't need to have this challenge this early on in his life, but we're taking it in stride and we're going to do something about it. And by doing the Nate's Glow organization, it strengthens them. It finds a purpose for their pain and allows them to continue to move forward. Isn't that important? Isn't it important that they can go on in their lives strong, remembering Nate, accomplishing their own goals and dreams? Pretty important, man. So I've got a lot, especially when you consider the 3 parts to the mission statement. Number 1, end bullying. Number 2, find the lost, which you can find more about that on our search and rescue page. And 3, which is the biggie. It's the biggie. Share and spread Nate's message of love, hope, and faith. It is tremendous. I cannot wait to give you guys that stuff. I wish I could do it all right now. Maybe I'm giving you little pieces of it, but there's so much more to come. But the first part is ending bullying. I told you that there's only one way to do it. Trust me, I've looked at all the ways. I was bullied as a kid, and I'll be talking more about that too. But now bullying is taking my son, so I will take bullying. Its time is done now. But before I can tell you the way, I have to make sure you do that prerequisite and open your ears to hear. And along that path, I will be giving you some good tidbits of information that has been recently revealed to me or revealed to me in ancient time when I was a boy. And I have a lot of those tidbits. Part of what I'm going to be doing is sharing it. Some of it's controversial. Some of it's the same things you've heard. I'm not saying that everything we all do already as society to try to get rid of this bullying problem is wrong. It's not wrong. It just needs polished up a little bit. So for today's tidbit, there's so much more to come. I will leave you with this. Make sure your ears are on to hear it. If you want to wipe bullying off of this planet, then listen up. Quit telling bullied kids to stand up for themselves. Quit, unless they've never heard it before. If they've never heard it, then yes, teach them that they need to stand up for themselves. But what happens is we get in this crazy, it's insane, repeating cycle of, oh, you have to stand up for yourselves. You have to stand up for yourself. You have to stand up for yourself. Here's why. Here's why it's ridiculous. It's dumb to tell the bullied kid to stand up for themselves because they already know. They stand up for themselves 100 times a day, every day. Every day is a fight for these kids, and having the adults or the loved ones or whoever else telling them to stand up for themselves is like a slap in the face. Stop it. They already know. We would be better off telling them how to stand up for themselves, what to say in those situations. They need techniques and strategies. They need phrases that they can memorize to use when the bullying is happening. They don't need to be told to stand up for themselves. What a cop out. It's a cop out. And I'm calling you out if you're the one doing it. Quit telling the bullied kids that they need to stick up for themselves unless they've never heard it. Because here's why. These bullied kids, and you're looking at one of them, and you can't look at another one because he's passed away. These kids look at all these people. They look at the bullies. They look at the bystanders, the people around them. And these kids are smart. So they're wondering, right? They're wondering why they have to stand up for themselves 100 times a day and nobody else has to do it at all. Explain that. They don't see it as fair. They don't feel like they should have to because nobody else has to. Everybody else has the automatic acceptance, the automatic respect from their peers. Why do these guys have to fight and fight and fight and fight and have the whole world, especially the people that love them, basically saying they're weak? They're not weak. They're facing daily onslaught. They're in battle. And the people that care about them are telling them to stick up for themselves. What a cop-out. Now, obviously, I'm not saying they shouldn't stick up for themselves. They absolutely should. They should obviously have self-defense training. But before it even gets physical, they need to know conversational defense. Conversational defense. They need to be taught what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. They don't need to be told that they should say it. They need to be told what to say. They need specific phrases, specific techniques to have a conversational tactical advantage when they're facing this ridiculous mistreatment by other people. Now, I know better than you about the cruelty in this world. I know that the cruelty is there. And I am not suggesting that the way to end bullying is to wipe out the cruelty. That's one of the ways. But it takes two other ways as well. And we'll get into those. But the lesson of right now is to quit telling the kids that they need to stand up for themselves and start telling them how to use the power of their words, not go straight to physical self-defense. There's so many levels before that. Teach them how to stand up for themselves instead of just telling them to do so. And that would be a good tidbit for today's podcast. I have around 1,000 more, and I will be shelling them out as I pave the way to prepare you for the end of bullying. It will be revealed soon. Thank you for listening. Remember the first word in Nate's message of love, hope, and faith. It's love. Nate had a philosophy on love, man. And I'm not really talking about spousal love, although that's part of it. It's Nate's philosophy was so much bigger than that. It's what he lived for. And it was in everything that he did. So in everything that I do, I will try to follow his message, his advice, his example. And I'll try to do it with love because I don't hate the bullies. And I'll tell you why soon. But I don't hate them. I love them. I want to help. And everything that I do with the Nate's Glow organization will have love as not only its foundation, but as its guiding principle. When we go into workplaces, when we go into schools, none of it is hate-based. We're not anti-bullying. We're not fighting the bully war. We're not fighting the bullies. Everything we're doing out of love. That's what Nate would have wanted. So as you go about your day, take a moment. Look at the sky, the trees, look at the birds, take it all in. Feel the love that surrounds you at all times. Cultivate that. If you do that, you will be on the right path. Love, faith, and hope. Welcome to Nate's Glow. If you want to see the rest of that episode or the next episode, or if you just want to see whatever it is that we're up to, come visit us at www.natesglow.org. See you soon.